Jade Cargill critics, you better listen up because this is a must-listen video for you. Because not only am I going to tell you exactly what Jade Cargill had to say about y'all, but why y'all need to understand where this girl is coming from and why there are so many supporters out there like myself. Because I've seen the hate, I've seen the criticism. Everyone wants to crap over Jade Cargill. Why is that? It goes all the way back to her AEW days, the way that she was brought in, Shaq's partner against Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet, her long, dominant reign as a TBS champion, just an absolute beast in AEW. Someone that was well protected by Tony Khan and arguably going to be around in AEW for years to come. Then she said, "Mr. Khan, I'm leaving your company." And so she opted last year, changing her life and her family's life for, I don't want to say the better, but definitely financially and situationally for the better. Because as Jade Cargill has talked about in the past, as I've talked about in the past, Jade Cargill saw WWE as a shining light. She viewed it as she can either stay within AEW, a still growing yet thriving business, while she tries to make a name for herself in entertainment, not just the pro wrestling industry, but she has acting aspirations as well and make a lot of coin along the way. Or she can go to an established brand that can help her get to where she wants to go, which is acting, and make her one of the biggest names in the history of the pro wrestling right now. That was a pretty good decision on her part, right? At least in my mind, because Jade Cargill, she's different. She's not like everybody else. She looks different. She acts different. She is just someone different. She has like the airport test, right? You walk through an airport, you see her, you're going to stop and look. Not everybody has that quality. That's fine. That's what makes megastars. And megastars in this business run this business. Now that gets us to today's video because critics, well, they complained about her in AEW and they complained about her in WWE. They're still complaining about her. But people get it way too twisted, way too confused, and Jade Cargill has cleared up that speculation, or that narrative, if you will, because she was recently on Hot 97's morning show, right? Peter Rosenberg, Laura Stiles, etc., and she was asked about the criticism in which she gets. This is what she had to say. One of the hardest things is people understanding. I am 3 and some change years in this thing, and they are comparing to me to people that have been doing this for 10, 20, 15 years. And I'm out here working with these people, but my name is being brought up with these great people because they know. And I need people to understand it. Like, it takes time. This is not something that happens overnight. This is, again, an art. There are several layers to it. She then recalled getting advice from current AEW World Champion Bryan Danielson while he trained her a few years back. I remember one of my trainers, Bryan Danielson, telling me that he didn't get comfortable doing this until 7 years. 7 years, and this is one of the greatest technical wrestlers you've ever seen. So for him to say that, again, I just have to give myself grace. One of the hardest things is getting people to understand that. I'm still new at this. Relatively new at this. Wow. Okay, so Jade Cargill critics, do you not hear this? Ask yourself, whatever industry you're in, whatever career field you're in, how would you rate yourself 3 years in? Would you say you were great? Fantastic? The GOAT? Do you think you still suck? I can tell you this, as someone who's been covering pro wrestling for over a decade now, I didn't find my footing until I was about 7, 8 years in, just a few years ago, where I feel like I can write as good as some of the best in the business. I still struggle with certain elements. I know where my weak point is, right? But I'm still one of the best to ever do it. Longevity and successfully doing that, right? We all fumble, like I just did. But Jade Cargill, she's on a different level because she's always been in the spotlight. She didn't have this underground indie run that no one heard about, no one saw. Every single thing this woman has ever done in pro wrestling has been on national television. Think about that. Think about your first learning days, your first year or years. Think about how just really bad those were. Like, you were just eating dirt. You booked a one-way flight to Struggle City. That's where Jade Cargill has been, but she's been doing so on a national level. That's why you have to give her a little bit of grace when she does this. And if she does mess up, you have to understand where she's coming from because she's still learning about this. That's been my whole defense about Jade Cargill. I've always been under the viewpoint of like, does she have charisma? Yes. Does she have it factor? Yes. Does she still need to get better in the ring? Of course, she's still green. Even 3 years of experience under her belt, she's still green. So if you take all that into consideration, if you look at where she's gotten up to this point, I think she's done pretty well. I think she's done pretty well for herself. And just because she may not be a cup of tea for you, doesn't mean that she's a bad person or she's a bad wrestler. Maybe you just like different styles of wrestling. Maybe you're just someone who's miserable and have to hate on someone. Or maybe you just don't understand where WWE and Jade Cargill are coming from. Because they told you what they thought of Jade Cargill the moment that she signed with the promotion. Right? Take it back a year, y'all. She did the media rounds. She did a bunch of interviews talking about the decision to leave AEW, signing with WWE, her intentions. This is not like rocket science. This is not a secured secret. This is something in which she's been very vocal about. And then they took her time with her, and she turned at the Performance Center, and they waited until the right opportunity in their eyes, and when they felt that she was best ready for this spotlight, and they said, okay, Jade, let's do this. And so the Royal Rumble happens, and she shows up there, and just like in the Royal Rumble, and just like at WrestleMania, and just like in a lot of her matches, a lot of things have been well designed. Every movement matters. Her promos matter, what she says in those promos, her movement in the ring, her movement in her entrance. Everything matters with Jade Cargill. Not everyone has that microscope on her. And the company doesn't view that with a lot of other people as well. So that's what makes Jade Cargill stand out so much and why she just hits different. Thank you guys so much for watching this video from WrestleSTAR. If you enjoyed that, consider hitting the subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you are notified every single time we upload new wrestling content here to the channel. If you would, like button, that helps us tremendously. I'd love to hear what you had to say about today's video. Leave a comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, helping change my and family's life, and I will see each and every one of you in the next video. Take care, y'all.